Here I am in the middle of the night recording. What's up, guys? GeorgeTheCloud here. My name's Jorge, aka George. Welcome to the channel and welcome to my life. Today we have a special request, a paid donation, if you will, by Little Lion. Thank you so much for the coffee. I really appreciate it. So we have Asaf Avidan in a box 3 to love another. So I've reacted to him before. I think it was it in a box 2? Let's look at the history here of the channel reactions. It was Asaf Avidan in a box 2, her lies. So I guess I've been skipping, the first one. I might go back to it at some point if there is a number 1. I'm assuming there is. But yeah, I've already seen number 2. This was a year ago. Don't really remember it that well. In fact, I'm gonna have to look up the history of Asaf. Where is he from again? Jerusalem. So Asaf Avidan is an Israeli singer and songwriter born in Jerusalem. He was raised in Jamaica and currently resides in Europe. That's so wacky. Go from Israel to Jamaica to Europe. From 2006 to 2011, he was part of the band Asaf Avidan and the Mojos, independently releasing 3 studio albums. Interesting. All right. He's 45 years old, still young. So let's get into this video and I'll give you my opinion at the end. Grab some popcorn, fill up your water, put your headphones on. Let's go.
She tilted down her head and brushed her hair aside and lifted up that holy gaze.
Oh, that's right. He has that voice.
She tilted down her head and brushed her hair aside and lifted up that holy gaze beneath her eyelids. Her beating lashes were the witnesses that heard every single word she wouldn't say, but I did. And when her lips came back to touch after a smile, she pressed them way too hard so they would reconcile. Their color darkened to a red of every blood of every dead that ever dared to love another. To love another. She pulled her head aside, and when she brought it back, I swear a little broken girl was in her body. But as a prophecy went trickling down her cheek, she said, "Don't you think to fall is just a study?" And when the scars upon her lips were glued to mine, all of the stars and all the skies had to align. And then we both just disappeared in every hope and every fear of what it means to love another. To love another. Another day was passing in her eyes. I realized she never said I love you in the morning. But as I watch the sunset in her gaze, there is a haze of night that doesn't want to heed the warning. And when she parts her lips to wet them with her tongue, they bear the weight of every word of every song. And I am left there in that chair without a clue, without a care, insisting I can love another. I can love another. Her eyes were searching in my soul. I asked her what it is she saw. She answered only with her silence. But then she took a pen and drew an entire ocean made of blue, and in it falling were 2 islands. And through lips I felt the beating of her heart. I named her upper lip the end, the lower lip the start. I said I'll never let them touch. I wanna open them so much. We'll never stop to love another, to love another. And through her lips I felt the beating of her heart. I named her upper lip the end, the lower lip the start. I said I'll never let them touch. I wanna open them so much. We'll never stop to love another, 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 to love another.
This is one of those songs that intrigues me in its meaning. It's a bit it's definitely poetic, but I think without the context, I can only wonder what it's about, and I'll try to go deeper into it and see if I can figure it out. But first things first, we hit the like. I am subscribed, and I'll have a link of the original video down in the description below. So starting with his voice, which was a bit shocking, right, as soon as I heard it, because I had forgotten about the other video that I reacted to from him such a long time ago. Well, a year, but so much happens in a year. And he has a very distinct voice, not one that I would consider traditionally, beautiful for singing, but it is one that becomes memorable. It reminds me of, I don't know if I said this in the last reaction. If you guys have heard Steve-O from Jackass, from the Jackass series back in the early 2000s, he sounds a lot like Steve-O, I want to say, and a little bit like the singer from LP, right? The one that sings Lost on You. All the things I lost on you. Oh, a bit like that, but not as high pitched. It's just, it sounds like he has taken damage to his chords. Keep in mind, guys, I have no context. I don't know what's going on with him, with his life, etc. So I can only speculate. But yeah, it just seems like his throat, like it sounds like he's really using his vocal cords to the maximum, and it's a voice that like I said, sounds like maybe it has faced troubles in the past, or it just like very worn, and he's like, but he's doing it, he's getting it out. With that though comes this sort of raw like just this raw voice that's coming. Sounds very real, right? He's not trying to make it sound different, tweaking it or sound like anyone else. He's just doing it. He has the voice and he's doing it. In this setting here, we can see that they seem peaceful. They seem very calm, right? Even the nature outside, it looks like it's a bit sunny. You can see the vegetation, and they're in this hallway of what probably could be a museum. I would say there is so much art around it. Ornaments, decorations, very fancy, and very old looking as well. It's like an abandoned museum or something like that. But it's a nice place, to record a music video. It's very photogenic and it leaves an impression. Even the tiles on the floor, right? Like there's a lot of design in here. The other two singers, very good as well, backup singers. And you could see in their faces, like, what I gather the most about the video is the thought behind it, the emotion. It's something that is meant to be deep, personal, like he's telling the story. What I can assume from this, just as a first listen, is that he was describing this girl, right? This female, this woman, and her lips, her eyes, her, just in great detail, like having her present and basically glorifying her, right? She's very special, she's lovely, she's pretty, she's amazing. And she's saying, I think he was saying, I could never love anyone like you. But at the same time, she was saying, no, you should love someone, almost like she wanted him to move on. Let me see if I can get the lyrics on here. I'll try to do my best with the time I have here, which is not a lot. Man, if I could, I would make these reactions, 20 minutes long, but then nobody would watch them, and that would be an issue, guys. Let's see. Lyrics. Gold Shadow. Is there another In a Box 3 version? Gold Shadow. In a Box 3. Oh, To Love Another. Have to type that in. Pardon me? Okay. All right. Give me the lyrics. Genius.com. Her beating lashes were the witnesses that heard every single word she wouldn't say, but I did. Yeah, throughout it seemed like she was very quiet, just kind of present, but not saying much. And that bit of hesitation leads me to believe that that, I don't know, maybe she wasn't completely in for him. He was, like, he seemed like he was 100% in love with this person. I mean, the descriptions: her color darkened to a red of every blood of every dead that ever dared to love another. And when her lips came back to touch after a smile, she pressed them way too hard so they would reconcile. She pulled her head aside, and when she brought it back, I swear a little broken girl was in her body. And her prophecy went tripling down her cheek. She said, "Don't you think to fall is just a study?" And when the star upon her lip was glued to mine, so they did connect, all of the stars in the skies had to align. And then we both just disappear in every hope, in every fear of what it means to love another. Another day was passing in her eyes. I realized she never said, "I love you" in the morning. But as I watched the sunset in her gaze, there is a haze of night that doesn't want to be the warning. And when she starts her lips to wet, and when she parts her lips to wet them with her tongue, they bear the weight of every word of every song, and I am left there in that chair, without a clue, without a care, insisting I could love another. Now I'm getting the idea that maybe she's in her last moments. Very somber, right? That's the whole vibe that I'm getting here from the presentation. You could see it in their eyes, right? That this is a sort of a delicate situation. So maybe she is kind of drifting off into the next realm or something like that. But the important part here is that I get the gist of it, and the delicacy, the tenderness of the song, and it seems like it's very important. Like I said, the way he's presented the song, you almost feel like bad for him, like you're listening to the story and he's just sitting there describing, and like, man, what can we do here? Somebody give this guy a hug or something. But I would still like to hear you guys' comments on what it represents, and if you have more information. Also, if you'd like me to react to more of his songs, I am here, so feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and at the end, do a flip. Till the next.